Welcome back, Saxo fans. Episode 12, I think. So, where are we at? I can't even remember what we were going to do. Interior, that's it. So yeah, the end of the last video, you saw me just endlessly grinding the interior away. So I had this horrible, nasty paint finish that was flaking off. It was pretty rough. It was a matte finish, not very hard wearing. Yeah, just a bit nasty. So I finished all that now, which I'll show you in a sec. So I want to get the inside masked up, primed and bedlinered in black. I want to try and get the dash flocked, although I probably won't get to that in this video, but you saw me take the dash out. I want to get rid of the side skirts that have been on the floor. I kick them nearly every time I walk in the garage. So hopefully I'll clean them up, put them back in. Got some clips coming for those. But hopefully by the end of the video, what we should be at is a point where the interior is painted. That's the plan anyway. So with that in mind, let's go and have a look at the car. Okay, that's the inside and the floor stripped down where this horrible, nasty sort of matte flaking paint finish was applied. Taking it right back as far as I can. A few little tricky areas I can't get to, but luckily the Raptor Bedliner is quite forgiving. So next step is to take all the seals off, mask all the bits up that I don't want to be painted, get some primer on it. So first of all, let's get the door seals out. Unexpected development. So I was just going through taking the last few little bits off the car, and this little corner you can see has definitely had a repair in the past because it's not level with the rest of the car. It's a really good repair. I've taken back the other side and you can see it's all been welded really nicely and it's very strong. The problem is that it started to go at the end of that repair. I could just see a couple of little diddy holes through to the floor, and I thought that's not right. So I've taken off what's here and on the other side, and it was actually at the end of where this repair was done in the past. It's just started to go rusty, so I've cut a little patch out and I'm going to weld in on both sides, I think, to make it tidy again, and obviously structurally sound and weatherproof. So yeah, unexpected development, but nothing we can't resolve. Okay, got that patch welded in, no problem, it was nice and easy. The car inside is absolutely minging. I did already hoover it out twice. For a car that's got no interior, my God, it takes forever to hoover. So I'm going to give it a really good hoover and then start masking up. So let's chuck a little time lapse in. Okay, there we go. So that's the interior primed. I need to invest in a better mask. Don't do what I did. I just use a standard sort of, Bogo COVID mask, and it's not great for spraying. Nearly gassing myself out in there. So yeah, don't be an idiot. Buy some proper kit. Don't be like me. But yeah, I'm really happy with how it's turned out. It's all good. I'm gonna let that go off for a few hours, probably overnight, and then I can mix up the bed liner which has arrived. So it's a nice easy process. I don't have to add colour because it already comes black. So it's just a case of mixing in some hardener. Happy with that. I think it looks pretty good.
There we go then. Happy with the interior. It looks really good, I think, and I'm happy with the crackled finish. I like what the Bedliner gives you. Really hard wearing. So on to the next step, which is roll cage. I've already dropped that off for stripping, and obviously the inevitable powder coating that will follow. That's going to be about another 10 days before I get that back. So in the meantime, I'm just going to do a load of other little jobs that need doing while I'm waiting. So things like the window and door sills, I've already restored these and put these ones back in. I need to do the door and the boot. And then other things like, while I wait for the dash equipment, I need to flock that. I'm going to restore like the wiper motor, get all that looking nice and fresh again. Little menial jobs really that aren't particularly exciting but do need doing. So in the meantime, I'm going to go and get on with those, and we'll wait for the roll cage. Here we go. Roll cage. Back from strippers. Just had everything taken off of it. A couple of little tiny bits they missed, but you know, it is what it is. I think it should powder coat okay. Yeah, finish is pretty good. There's a few welds on the cage that are a bit spotty. Not perfect, but you know, the cage is absolutely solid and there's plenty of weld on there, that's for sure. So there's a couple that I might just put a couple of blobs on and just maybe tidy up a couple a little bit before it goes off for powder coating very soon. So hopefully, if that is quick, I'll get it in at the weekend. Let's see what happens. Right, roll cage is over at the powder coaters, hopefully get that back in a few days. In the meantime, some of those small jobs that I mentioned before, first of which is wiper motor. Absolutely nothing wrong with it, but it's just looking a bit scabby. So I'm going to show you a quick dismantling and we'll get that in the blaster, cleaned up, freshly painted and put back together. So let's go on with it. Okay, so it's been through the blaster. I'm going to give it a good clean because obviously some of the sand gets right into those ball joints and it's a little bit crunchy. So I really didn't want to break those because they're a real pain. So I'm going to give it a proper good clean, really get into those joints and really around and get those out there. And then we get it in some paint. So I decided to split the motor and the assembly apart a little bit more just because these shafts, when I was cleaning them, the brown junk that was coming out really nasty. And I couldn't get them to run really nice and smooth, so I think the best way was to undo the little bucket circuit. You can see that. The holes have been all just pop the shaft out, so I'll re-grease all these and put them back in, but before we'll do that, we'll get them painted so it's a bit easier to paint. Okay, so all done. If you're wondering what this colour is, it's BMW Space Grey. I didn't use an original Saxo colour, but it's what I already had knocking around me. I used it for a little remote control car a little while ago, so I had nearly a full tin of it. save me buying any more. But yeah, it's quite a nice colour. So that's I've had a good few hours to harden now, so I'll leave it overnight when it's all built up. But it's okay for me to handle. So let's get this thing back together. There we go then. So that's one refurbished wiper motor. Obviously the motor's the same. I did give that a bit of a clean over, obviously gently, you know, I didn't want to go too mad with getting water and stuff in it. So that looks nice and tidy. It's all painted, ready to go back on, so I'll just store this for now until the right time. So on to the next thing while we're still waiting for the roll cage to come back, and that's going to involve one of these 80 or so electrical backout pins. Bought a whole set. Probably only ever going to need about 3 of them, but you never know which one you're going to need. So let's go and have a look on the car and I'll show you what we're going to do with those. Right, menial job number 2, tidy up some of this wiring. So I've got some braided sleeving, some heat shrink, got all the connector pins that I need to remove the electrical connector off here, and I bought these little cable tie clamps that I can just stick along and cable tie nicely. I don't like to see any wiring, so I'm going to try and hide this as much as I possibly can. There used to be an earth point here. I've moved that to another point further with the car because I just don't like the fact that you could see that so much. So in the sort of aim of neatness and tidiness, we'll get this looking decent again. So it's probably a bit dull to watch in real time, so we'll probably time lapse this one as well because yeah, it's just wiring. It's nothing particularly exciting, but needs must. So let's do that. Here we go then. So, pretty straightforward in the end. A little bit fiddly to get the sheathing in because, for some reason, this wiring harness has already been extended. So there were some quite big soldering joints there with a heat shrink on them already, which made life a little bit more difficult. But I'm glad I didn't cut it again and put even more joints in. So no idea why it's got about a foot worth of extra length in there, but yeah, it is what it is. So I've got a bit more wiring to tidy up over on the dash side. Some stuff that you will see and obviously some stuff that you won't. But the next thing to go in is the roll cage. So let's get on with that. Come on, mate.